Emily, what a fantastic place to talk about you and being a referee and everything that goes with what you're putting yourself through to be the very best. Why do you want to do it? What makes you want to do this job so much?
I think if you speak to a lot of referees, we'll probably say the similar answer. It's the buzz that you get from refereeing. Obviously, probably a lot of us have played the game before, and you get your buzz from your playing, you're challenging, you're tackling, you're winning the ball, scoring the goals, but it's very different as a referee. And I always liken it to the fact that as human beings, we always want to be right. And in the game, when you referee, you make multiple decisions, sometimes 300-400 decisions a game, and that's 300-400 opportunities to try and be right. And when we get things right, you get that satisfaction and the good feeling, and some of the decisions are small, and you know, even if they're right, that's great, but it's the big decisions that we're striving to get right. And the game of football is unknown. You never know what it's going to bring, and that's exciting. And the fact that you don't know what's coming also brings some excitement to the game. And when we get those big decisions right, that's where the excitement comes from.
So how many of those 250, 300 decisions do you feel you get right?
I think I'm pretty confident that we probably get around 99% of the game, the decisions right a game, and there's always going to be mistakes. You're never going to get anything right, and that might be a throw-in wrong, it might be a corner wrong, or it might be the big one that we want to get right that unfortunately is wrong, and that's just the nature of the game. We can never be perfect. We will make mistakes, and it's how we deal with it afterwards. I'd say that is the bigger kind of outcome than.
How do you deal with it then?
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's really tough, I think. As I said, as human beings, we want to be right, and when we're not right and we get something wrong, we'll probably all beat ourselves up, and I certainly do. I'm very self-critical, and I want to be right all the time. If something's wrong, then we've got to look at why we've got something wrong, but it's important to recognise good things in the game as well, because there are lots of good things.
When you talk to managers and head coaches, sometimes players as well, and if they feel they haven't performed well or the team hasn't performed well, they beat themselves up about it. They'll take it to bed with them at night, they'll sleep on it, it may affect their mood the next day. How does it affect your mood?
Well, I think, look, depending on how we get to the game, if something's wrong, then we'll stew on it through the whole journey, and it's really difficult. We know that we're never going to get everything right, but I think we need to make sure that we focus on the good, try not to beat ourselves up too much. Our mood is always going to be down temporarily, but it might be the game in the next 2 days that we've got to get ourselves prepared for, so it's important that we park that as soon as we can.
What happens when everything goes right? How you plan, the thought process, the preparation, and you come away, walk through the tunnel, go back into your dressing room and think, did all right there.
Yeah, and look, that happens a lot, and unfortunately for us, it's never in the media, and they will never get an article on one of the pages that says that referee was outstanding today.
But in a previous life, in the previous job that you had, police officer, you can transfer some of those skills?
There's going to be skills that will always overlap from the role of a police officer into referee. It's calm under pressure, making decisions, general fitness levels.
Toleration?
Toleration, yeah, and being a good communicator as well, that's really important.
You talk about the physical preparation, the mental preparation, and you talked about how it can impact your own mood if things don't go to plan. How mentally tough do you have to be?
Look, refereeing is not easy. There's times when errors are made, and the way that we are at the moment, certainly in society, but in football in general, everything is scrutinised, and you can't get away from that. That's just the way it is now. We've got VAR, we've got multiple camera angles, we've got the media, we've got the analyst team that sit on Sky Sports, clipping every decision, going through everything from every angle, going, how have they got this wrong? And there's always context behind it. We don't make errors for a certain reason, but it's tough, and we want to be right, but we've got to understand that we're not always going to be right. And how do we overcome that? Mental strength, resilience to keep going and push on. And there's going to be times when we're not perfect, but I think it's really important that we use sports science that we've got in place at the moment through the PGMWell and other people, a support network to try and keep going. It is tough.
Because of the scrutiny, because of the feedback, because of everybody has an opinion on something, has that ever impacted you and just how you feel about yourself?
Mental health is a really big topic right now, and we know that everyone has an opinion, and how that is put out there in the world and how that affects us individually is very, very different to each person as an individual. And I think we don't realise sometimes the impact that any comment, any gesture, any action can have on us as a human being. And people do get upset. And that is the nature of the sport. As we said, it's an opinionated sport, but how people decide to share their opinions is up to them. But equally, abuse and writing bad things about people in social media because I've made a decision that might not be right or you think is wrong, say you as in the public in general, but it's just not okay to start writing things about people, because what we say and what we do and actions do really affect people.
And the support network within PGMO, I would imagine is strong, it's good.
Yeah, we've got a designated team of sports scientists, so we've got a few people in place that can help us, and that's a choice for us to use those members of the team to support and help. But it's really important that they are in place if we need it, because mental health is so big now, and sports science isn't just about psychology of the mind and how we make decisions. It's about how we're feeling on the day, what is our well-being doing, how do I actually feel as a person, or just my general state of mind going into the game, because it's going to affect our decisions at the end of the day. Football is all about the mind, decision making is all about the mind, being calm under pressure all comes from the mind. All of these things come from the mind, and if the mind is in a good place, then hopefully that should put us in a better position to make the right decisions. And if we make the right decisions, then we've got better chance to progress. So.
And if the mind's in a good place, it'll make you work harder in the gym, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Looking forward to that one later on. So, yeah, it's crazy how everything's about the mind. But there's so much around mental health now that we have more awareness of it, and we're in a better position to speak about it. But certainly from a referee perspective, there's so much scrutiny that everything gets plastered, one small error and it's plastered, but we have to be able to deal with that now.
Good stuff. Well, good luck.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.